After building a multi-million-dollar empire and rapidly ascending the fashion ladder, this fashion tycoon died tragically. The day of his birth was December 2, 1946. In southern Italy's Reggio Calabria, he spent his formative years. His mother's name was Francesca, and his father's name was Antonio. Antonio sold appliances, whereas Francesca co-owned a clothing shop and worked as a dressmaker. Fortunata, Santo Gianni, Donatella, and the couple's other two children were all born. When Gianni was only 6 years old, tragedy struck as he and his family were attending a fun fair. Fortunata scraped her knee after falling. She was given the incorrect medication to treat her tetanus. She died less than a day after the accident while still dressed for the occasion. Born 3 years later was Donatella. Santo and Gianni never got the chance to meet Donatella's older sister, but they carried their sorrow with them for the rest of their lives. Sadly, it wasn't the family's last sudden death either. Little Gianni had always loved coming here to his mother's workshop. He not only watched his mother make the dresses for the brides in their community, but he also participated in the process. He did, however, also admire the fashionable women who entered the shop. Motivated by his mother's talent, Gianni made his first garment at the age of 9. It was a stunning blue evening gown with one shoulder. Gianni exulted in pride as his mother expressed her happiness. As you can see, Gianni fell in love with fashion very quickly after turning 40. And in his mid-20s, he first had the dream of one day becoming a fashion designer. He had relocated to Milan, and was already a successful designer, making 6 figures annually. Milan was at the time the hottest new fashion capital, and the place to be for both aspiring and seasoned fashion designers. He opened his own store in Milan's Villa delle, the city's main shopping district, in 1978. And his debut collection, displayed on March 28 at the Permanente Versace Contemporary Art Museum, was original and oddly provocative. And Gianni quickly rose to fame in Milan. This in turn sparked a fierce rivalry between them and Giorgio Armani. He made sure to change a few things in order to revolutionize the fashion industry. Utilizing multiple components in the same dress at the time was one of them. Gianni loved nothing more than to mix and match anything, from lace and leather to metal studs and Swarovski crystals, which was still very uncommon. The Versace brand was distinguished by its steadfast commitment to independence, which was another factor. Versace became one of the few major brands in charge of its entire product cycle as a result of this desire for independence. You see, she was a superb designer and a creative talent in all areas, including design, retailing, and marketing. He also emphasized the significance of only using top-tier photographers and supermodels. He turned Naomi Campbell, Christy Turlington, and Linda Evangelista into celebrities, and his provocative style provided a welcome contrast to his forebears' straightforwardness. He realized that the main purpose of dressing up isn't so much to be covered up as it is to look good. Paul Rubenstein, a fashion expert, advises dressing to draw attention. Besides relying on supermodels to display his clothing, Gianni was also aware of the enormous influence his brand could have thanks to celebrities. He started designing clothing for stars like Michael Jackson, Cher, Elton John, Princess Diana, and many more. Versace received a huge influx of new clients as a result. Early in the 1990s, Gianni, who had grown more confident as a result of his success, unveiled his most audacious clothing line to date. The Miss S&M Bondage collection, wearing form-fitting leather and bearing a serious expression. The catwalk was strutted by the model. Gianni even made the joke that half of Manhattan was now wearing a harness while moving about. Gianni moved to Miami in the same year. He discovered a stunning villa in South Beach, purchased it, and gave it the name Casa Casara. Gianni adored the location, so it underwent more than $30 million in renovations before becoming the legendary Versace mansion for the following 5 years. Gianni was content to live here before a catastrophe occurred. On July 15, 1997, a 50-year-old Gianni was awake by 6 in the morning. He called Milan and completed some more work. He bought a coffee at the Ocean Drive restaurant, where he frequently dined, before leaving. I greeted the manager, grabbed a few New Yorker issues of Vogue, and left for home. He went up 5 marble steps before inserting his key into the iron gate's lock. But at that exact second, a man with dark hair and a baseball cap ran up the identical marble steps. The man executed Gianni by firing twice. He then casually turned around and walked away. Andrew Cunanan, a 27-year-old serial killer who was discovered dead in a Miami Beach boathouse, had shot him to death. His murder 8 days later shocked everyone in the world. Donatella and Santo, Gianni's distraught siblings, flew in from Milan to identify his body, and his steps were transformed into a temporary memorial with flowers and cards. Gianni was given a funeral at the Duomo fit for a prince 1 week after his passing. The majestic 14th-century cathedral in Milan. Johnny's family members, including his brother and sister, favorite model Naomi Campbell, and favorite Princess Lady Diana were all present. While more than 2,000 people filled the memorial, camera crews battling for space outside included designers, royalty, and famous people. Gianni was renowned for injecting life and creativity into the fashion world. Versace had gradually evolved into more of a lifestyle brand, offering everything from tableware to bed linens. Gianni also created an $807 million empire in less than 10 years. After Gianni passed away, his siblings must now take over. His younger sister and muse Donatella developed a drug addiction, and things got so bad that she almost lost her position in the business. Santo, her older brother, was in charge of the Versace brand's business operations, and the two frequently fought. Donatella Versace, the eldest child of the Versace family and the best-dressed girl in the city, was born in 1955. When Gianni founded Versace in the late 1970s, Donatella became his mentor and source of inspiration. In the 1980s, she even created the brand's Versace line. After Gianni's tragic death, Donatella took over as creative director, but her addiction was getting out of hand. At Elton John's urging, she entered rehab in 2004. Together with her brother Santo, who took over as CEO after her release, and Donatella, who served as head of design, Versace continued to advance the business after her release. Donatella entered treatment 4 years prior. J.Lo attended the 42nd Academy Awards in one of Donatella Versace's most well-known creations. It had a stunning silk chiffon dress with a jungle print and a very low neckline. Everyone was clamoring to see pictures of J.Lo in it because she looked so stunning. In fact, people were so fixated on the jungle dress that Google's image search feature was developed as a result. It was the most popular search term we had ever seen, according to former Google CEO Eric Schmidt. The Google team soon discovered that users wanted more than just text. One of fashion's favorite anecdotes is the notion that an address inspired Google to develop one of its most well-liked features. And when Donatella debuted her Spring 2020 women's wear collection in 2019, she made sure to remind everyone of it by having a Google image search field flash on a screen with the instruction at the conclusion of the runway show. "Show me the Versace jungle dress, Google," and a plethora of pictures of Jennifer Lopez's original outfit from 2000 appeared on the screen. Even though Donatella still serves as creative director, the business was acquired by Capri Holdings Limited in the beginning of 2019. Versace hovers right at the top of the world when it comes to sultry, sensual, and alluring clothing, with a price tag of a staggering $2.2 billion. The fashion design house epitomizes Italian luxury, and each item continues to be of the highest caliber. Precisely as Gianni Versace had intended. Have you heard about Versace's tragic passing yet? Do you have any additional information to add to this video? Share it in the comments, and be sure to visit our channel if you want to see more motivating business videos.